This episode of Drop the Dead Donkey was first broadcast in October '94, in a week when the ambulance service was criticised for its response to emergency calls, and Mark Thatcher was accused of profiting from arms deals.
Press release from Central Office. Tories are insisting there's a clear blue water between them and Labour.
Yeah, only trouble is it's got lots of brown things floating in it.
Joy, Graphics needs a list of all the groups affected by the criminal justice bill. You know, New Age travellers, hunt saboteurs, ravers, any living organism, that sort of thing. Woohoo! Smart haircut, George.
Yes, well, Margaret's remarrying tomorrow afternoon, so...
Of course. It'll feel a bit strange.
Yes. The woman I cared and provided for all my adult life is marrying Todd, the young man who performed her liposuction. And who spent the last year living with her in the house that I paid for. Still, the important thing is, I'm not bitter.
Right.
Good morning, Sally. Bit long in the face today, aren't we? Could it possibly have anything to do with the write-up we received in this morning's Telegraph? I quote, Sally Smedley's lightweight simpering delivery is in stark contrast to the all-round professionalism of her fellow newscaster. Henry Davenport is a complete anchor.
I think they missed out a W.
And he sings my praises at embarrassing length. Yes, I get 6 3/4 column inches to your half an inch.
Isn't the bloke who wrote this an old schoolmate of yours?
Oh, well, that explains it. He's obviously influenced by his memories of your happy childhood together, Henry, when you both played in the woods and climbed trees to escape the saber-toothed tigers.
Good morning, Scoop Busters.
Welcome back, Gus. You're looking very well.
I've seen the light, that's why. Experiencing that minor cardiac arrhythmia situation has changed me. From now on, I'm going to employ relaxation techniques to turn off Stress River and mosey gently down Contentment Creek.
Well, well done. We're just about to start the editorial meeting.
Yes, well, you don't need me for that. If anyone wants me, I'm in my office, getting in touch with my inner child.
He'll never find his inner child. It's buried beneath the outer prat.
That is very cynical. Maybe Gus can become more laid back.
Yeah, right. And maybe Mark Thatcher found 12 million quid down the back of his sofa.
Helen, I just was wondering if possibly you might maybe accompany me tomorrow to Margaret's wedding. Only it would be quite nice for me to invite someone like yourself with me to the wedding, so that I could,
Stick 2 fingers up at Margaret.
I don't know what you mean. I just like a bit of company at the wedding, that's all. I'm allowed a guest, you see. The invitation is addressed to George +1, question mark. Question mark, exclamation mark.
Well, of course I'd come if I could, George, but I couldn't possibly leave the office. Because what with Gus delegating so much and you not here, it would be irresponsible for me to be away too.
I guess, I suppose so.
Welcome to the Guild of Master Excuse Makers. That was a lovely piece of work. What are you doing?
Well, I'm tidying the desks.
Why?
Well, because they should be tidy, that's why, okay.
What's up with you?
What time do you make it?
9:30ish.
No, not ish, precisely. What is the time precisely? She'll be here on the dot.
Who will?
Damien?
Oh. Hello, Mother. How are you?
I'm extremely well, but with a very busy schedule, I'm afraid. So if we could expedite matters, dear.
Yes, of course. Everyone, this is my mother.
Now then, Damien, listen carefully. I brought in all the old home movie tapes, and I want you to transfer them onto a single VHS. Now, do you think you can manage that?
Yes, of course, Mother. I'm not a complete moron. I can manage.
Yes, well, one can't help thinking of the episode with the cat, dear.
Perhaps we could borrow this office. It's a little more private.
Joy, do you mind if I say something?
Go ahead, I could do with a sleep.
A short eon ago, I gave you some expenses to type.
Yeah, well, I've got Henry's exes to finish first.
What's that there?
It was lunch allowance.
£40 a day? I don't get £40 a day for lunch.
Well, no, but then you don't really eat, do you, Sally? At least not during daylight hours.
Why should he get something I don't? That's not fair.
All right, don't overheat that brain cell, woman. You get £40 a day allowance for hair care. I don't bleat about that, do I?
That's different. I can't read the news without nice hair. But you could manage it without a stomach full of burgundy.
Says who?
I'm not putting up with this discrimination over lunch allowances.
Well, I want sodding parity on hair, then.
You know, I think you should both go and see Gus about this.
Good idea.
Oh, no, you don't.
Joy, are you going to spend the whole day just winding people up?
No, I'll probably break for lunch.
And I'd like 3 copies. Now, you can manage that okay, can't you?
Yes, Mother.
You're looking pale.
Yes, well, I've been a bit tired ever since I got back from making that series of reports in war-torn Azerbaijan. Did you see those, by any chance?
Yes, I did. I saw the one where your convoy was attacked. It was extraordinary.
You thought so?
Yes, you split 4 infinitives.
Yes, well, I was under machine gun fire at the time. Grammar tends to be something of an afterthought when you're attempting to keep your vital organs free from red-hot bits of metal. That report is up for an award, you know.
Really? Well, let's hope the sloppy syntax doesn't count against it. Now then, I must get back to the faculty. You won't make a hash of this now, will you?
Mother, I'm perfectly capable, you know.
Yes. I can still see that cat now.
I can't believe you're going to say it.
Please. Do you notice anything?
What?
The more strident you two get, the calmer I become.
Why should he get an allowance? I don't.
Ditto.
Listen to yourselves. There are people in this world with no money at all, who can't afford food or hair care.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
Look, Hedges!
Gus!
All right. Now, this is what I propose. If we stay calm and we visualize a mountain stream.
I'll pick the tapes up on Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh, hello. You must be Mrs. Day.
Professor Day, yes.
Professor? Gosh. And what are you a professor in?
Nuclear physics.
Oh, right. That's very interesting. All those neutrons and electrons and croutons.
They're bits of bread.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
Come on, Mother.
Who was that sad man?
No one.
9:30 a.m. Wednesday.
Yes, listen, it was very nice to see you. Only, give me more warning next time, eh? Well, then you and me could have a meal.
You and I could have a meal. I think.
Any luck on the wedding guest front?
No. None of the women in the office feel that they can spare the time off tomorrow.
Right. Still, it's good they're so conscientious, eh?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the hidden image in this 3D magic eye thing. There's supposed to be a unicorn in it. All I can see is Michael Howard with an axe in his head.
Yeah, well, see what you want to see in those things. Look, it's Kilroy with a pineapple up his arse.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy Hanley's made another gaffe. He should really think before he speaks.
Yeah, well, we can't wait that long.
Yes, well, visualizing a mountain stream with Sally's corpse in it wasn't quite entering into the spirit of it, Henry. Still, we won't make an issue of that. Helen, Henry and Sally here are giving in to stress and generally laying themselves open to viral infections over a little thing like money. It's a situation that requires delicacy, perspective, and wisdom. So it's all yours. Enjoy.
You know, what makes me want to vomit about this Mark Thatcher thing is that we smugly congratulate ourselves on having a free press, yet everyone knew how that charmless little toe rag got rich overnight. But it's taken 10 bloody years for anyone to come out and say it. They're only brave enough to say it now because his mum's become a sad old bag lady. If he was still in power, this story would have been sat on by the usual procession of nudges, whispers, threats, and knighthoods.
Well, perhaps we won't phrase the news item quite like that. Dave, let's see if we can get a quote from Baroness Thatcher, preferably before lunchtime. Joy, this ambulance story. Have we got a quote from the ambulance service yet?
Still holding.
Ready for the off then, George?
I think so.
Ooh, nice card. To Margaret and Todd from George. I hope you get everything that you deserve. Sally, about this receipt for yesterday's lunch expenses.
£40 exactly. I trust it will be honoured in the interests of parity.
Yes, it's just £40 is rather a lot for a rye biscuit with some cottage cheese on it.
Yes, well, I had it delivered.
Yes? By Bentley? From Basingstoke.
It's the principle, Helen. I'm merely making a point.
Gus, I've got a bit of a problem. Sally has put in this absurd expenses claim, and now she's...
I've let go of that, Helen. Oh, you're hunching those shoulders. Small tip. Relax your tongue and your body will follow. It's all in there. To mend, you must transcend.
Man reads one book and turns into the Dalai sodding Lama.
I met the Dalai Lama once. He was being interviewed by Henry back in '78. He was a nice man, wasn't he, Henry?
Yes. Not much cop at arm wrestling, though. But a good laugh down the disco.
What's this?
A receipt.
£40 on hair products.
It's £20 a hair.
For God's sake, this has got to stop.
OK, if we're quick. I've got Damien's mum's home movies.
Well, this is private. We shouldn't really watch this.
Which one's Damien?
That's him holding the camera. Yeah, it must be. Look at the way he's zooming in on the maggots in that dead starling.
Mother, look at me! Not now, thank you, dear. But, Mother, look! I'm walking the camel while riding my bike, not back for 7-year-old her. Yes, look. Dear. Ignore him, Trevor. He's just after some attention. Mum!
Wasn't that sad?
Yes. The poor cat didn't stand a chance.
When you've all quite finished, could I have my tape back now, please? Thank you. Oh, in the future, perhaps you might all show the faintest glimmer of respect for a fellow human being's privacy.
Hang on. We've just been lectured on privacy by the man who planted a tape recorder in Alan Clark's duvet.
Well, here I go.
You nervous?
No, don't worry. It's no big deal. I'm writing off 30 years of my life, but Margaret's interests come first, as always. Still, like I say, I'm not bitter.
Black confetti.
Yes. Unusual, isn't it?
Damien, how are we doing on the police foot? You okay?
Yeah, fine, 100%.
You've been crying, haven't you?
Crying? What are you talking about? When have you ever known me cry? I've been shot at by the Khmer Rouge, stoned by Islamic fundamentalists, tarred and feathered by Millwall fans.
I don't remember that story.
Well, it wasn't on a story. It was one of Henry's pub crawls. I told them I was Graham Taylor's son.
Are you sure you...
Look, I do not cry, OK? My eyes are watering due to an allergy. Look, All I ever wanted was for her to say, well done. You know, the day I got my A-level results, I got 3 grade A's and a B. Shame about the B, she said. Good job she wasn't Leonardo da Vinci's mum, eh? Shame you never quite mastered the trampoline, Leonardo. Yes, I'll look at your Mona Lisa once I've finished the weeding. She's always criticising. You know, if she corrects me one more time.
I'm sure she's proud of you, really. Oh, we've got you all wrong, haven't we? You're really a soft, sensitive person underneath. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just re-editing my Azerbaijan footage to include the rebels playing football with this bloke's head.
Why are they all named after government ministers?
Damien, they're cockroaches.
Oh, sorry.
In second place, Pacey Portillo.
Mine just went round in circles.
Well, you shouldn't have backed John Major, should you?
What's going on here, David?
Just a bit of fun, Gus. You know, old office tradition at party conference time. Bit of a laugh.
Splendid. Laughter's a marvelous form of therapeutic release. Well done.
Gus, about this Sally Henry expense fiasco.
You're still hunching those shoulders, Helen. Ah, George. How did Margaret's wedding go?
Well, I really rather enjoyed it. My speech went down very well.
I didn't know you were going to make a speech.
No, neither did she.
What exactly did you say in this speech, George?
Oh, just a few frothy anecdotes about Margaret, you know. That funny story about the time we shelled out all that money for a facelift and then it didn't even work. Got quite a big laugh. Not from Margaret's table, though. So, what stories are we looking at?
Well, we're following up on Lamont, saying the European Union's a bad idea and how he had his fingers crossed while he was negotiating the Maastricht Treaty. Then there's Kuwait, unemployment figures, and some more on Maggie.
It's funny. You know, I've always hated Thatcher's politics, but seeing her looking all frail and worried up there on the podium, you know, at a human level, you have to feel sorry for her, don't you?
No.
No, you're right. Let's enjoy it.
All right, anything else?
Yes. Either I get a response to my formal request for the same lunch allowance as Henry, or I shall withdraw my labour. How would you like that?
And how would we tell?
She gets parity, then
Yes,
will...
All right. I have found a way out of this impasse. Sally, you will be pleased to hear that I am scrapping Henry's lunch allowance. And Henry, you will be thrilled to know that I am abolishing Sally's hair allowance.
What?
Hell's bells!
Wait, let's just see what Sir Royston has to say about this.
Oh, he loves the idea. In fact, he suggested I review all your allowances.
You've spoken to Sir Royston?
At some length, yes.
Yes, but I do that, Helen. I talk to Sir Royston.
Well, you're too busy playing golf with your inner child. Excuse me.
Well, didn't Helen handle that well, Gus? Showed real leadership qualities. Well, you must be thrilled, what with you wanting to take a back seat and everything. You know, I reckon you'd be able to step down completely soon. Now that would be relaxing. Permanently. Oh, Gus, forgot your book?
Burn it.
Could someone please inform Damien that the time is 9:30 and that his mother is here as agreed?
Of course. Actually, Professor Day, could we have a word? It won't take a moment. All right, Gus.
Would you like to see my photos?
Yeah, all right. It's got to be better than working. Is that the groom?
Yes.
Why is his nose bleeding? George, you did.
Oh, good Lord, no, Dave. What do you take me for? Do you seriously think that I would punch the groom on his wedding day?
No, of course not.
No, Margaret did that. She took exception to Todd dancing cheek to cheek with one of the guests. Here's one of the moments where she actually threw the punch. I might get that one framed.
The thing is, all Damien wants is for you to tell him you're proud of him.
Well, of course I'm proud of him.
But have you actually mentioned it to him?
Look, I know I'm not exactly the mother in the Waltons, but life is a race. And you don't equip your boy to survive by mollycoddling him. Denying him praise was my way of making him an achiever. I was only doing...
We were just having a chat. Well, I'll leave you two to chat.
Oh, Helen, if I could interact with you a moment. It's about these new studio turrets.
Okay, I'll deal with it.
I'll take the decisions around here, Missy! Though, of course, I always value your input.
Oh, brilliant. So we can wave goodbye to the intensely irritating yogic yuppie who talked total bollocks and welcome back the paranoid smarmball who talks total bollocks. And by the way, you're hunching your shoulders.
Thank you for doing these, Damien. I appreciate it.
No, please, it was my pleasure. Brought back lots of memories.
Damien, I am very proud of you, you know. I've always been very proud of you. I'm sorry. I should have said so. I've been too hard on you.
Oh, Mother. It doesn't matter. I mean, now I know that you're proud of me. Well, oh, I couldn't be happier if I was a millionaire.
If I were a millionaire, dear.
And, this is the bride and groom going away. You can just see them in the back of the ambulance.
What's that cockroach doing in there?
Lap of honour.
For God's sake, get rid of it. Take it back where you found it.
If you say so. Joy, will you take Michael back to the canteen, please?
God!
That was a 6 times winner. I was going to put him out to stud.
Right, Charlie, you're fined £100. Now get your ass into gear.
He doesn't seem so relaxed now.
You'll find my son in there, banging his head against the wall and sobbing, but ignore him, he only wants some attention.
Where was I? Oh, yes. This is one of me dancing the lambada.
My God, George, who is that stunning-looking woman?
Oh, she's my +1. She's a friend. Her name is...
It's Celine from the Paragon Escort Agency.
You know her?
Only biblically. She's the agency's #1 girl. She is drop-dead gorgeous, isn't she? Oof.
Oh, no, let me get this straight. You hired a beautiful call girl to accompany you to your ex-wife's wedding just to rub her nose in it, and you then got this woman to make a pass at the groom and ruin their wedding day. That's what you did, isn't it, George?
Yes. That's what I did. And it was the best £2,000 I have ever spent!
Right, Sally, the Tory conference. Looks like Portillo had the edge over Heseltine.
Yes, his hair was far more impressive.
No, I mean, never mind. Perhaps we could compare their positions on a referendum over Europe.
Yes, I wouldn't be so suspicious of referenda if it didn't mean everyone getting a vote. Even the little people who can't be expected to understand anything.
Let's come back to that one, shall we? Now, Michael Howard and ID cards.
And I'm not convinced about ID cards either. Doesn't seem workable.
Right.
A better system would be to brand a number onto people's foreheads. That way criminals can be identified immediately, and it saves a lot of time and trouble.
And everyone gets branded, do they?
Not everyone. Just those sections of society who ought to be.
And how do we decide who they are?
Well, you could just tell by looking at them.
Don't you think that's a little bit draconian?
Well, I've never actually been to Draconia, but it sounds like they've got the right idea.